All right, that's KT Tunstall. Let's call the other side of the world. He's come like a bullet from a gun straight in to the top of the tower.
85 years old. I can still take care of you both.
You could probably take us both.
Look at the worms in there.
He's got it. He's now off microphone because he's gone to chase Jack, the producer, through the door.
We did a great show in Ireland together.
We did
great.
This is, in case you're wondering who I'm talking to, this is Jeffrey Archer, former MP turned literary powerhouse. He sold a few books in his time. I'm looking at a figure of 300 million. Come on.
Do you know, it's very funny because when you say 300 million, people, their eyes glaze over because they can't see the figure. I always think the figure I'm more proud of is that Cain and Abel's on its 142nd reprint. That, I think, people can understand.
That is really good. I mean, and what I love about it is, are you really 85?
Sorry?
No, you don't look it. What age are you?
85.
Come on. I mean, honestly, we need to do the pictures. Get on Instagram immediately. Look at this man in the flesh. Jeffrey, what in the name of God are you doing to make you look so... I'm not trying to plumb you here. I want to know, because I'm getting old now and I need to know.
I know you are getting old and you're a bit pathetic too. So, I mean, the combination of that and...
We're going to have to defenestrate our guest.
The future's not great, is it? Go on. I think I say to young people when they come to see me and talk about it, energy is a talent.
Yeah.
You can't pop down to Marks and Spencer's and say, I'll have a packet of energy, please.
Yeah.
You're either got it or you haven't, and that's luck.
Yeah.
And when people say to me, oh, the writing, I say, well, I'm not an opera singer. Yeah. I don't play the violin. I tell stories. That's, again, luck.
Yeah.
And the combination. But if you've got energy plus a talent, you're on the move.
That helps.
Well, you wouldn't know, but...
You just come in here to insult me, did you, Jeffrey? We'll keep this brief. Tell me, but do you exercise? Do you run?
Good point.
Tennis?
I do.
Sport?
I'm with my trainer 2 days a week.
Yeah.
I have a massage once a week. My trainer, people listening to this, because I am 85, they'll be horrified. I have to stand on one leg for 30 seconds and then try and do it with my eyes closed.
Yeah.
I pick up weights at 4 pounds and lift them 10 times. I try to do 10 press-ups.
Yes.
I go on the running machine at 4 miles an hour. I am pathetic. But, you can't cheat. My trainer looks at me and says, you're 85, you can't run 9.6 for the 100 any longer.
Yeah. Tempting as it is. Congratulations on Endgame. Here we go.
That's very kind.
I was being in London. Reading a book about London makes it even more special because you know what you're talking about. The places you see Tower Bridge,
just
which you
down
mentioned,
the road.
just the cyclists are passing by, and all of the things that you mentioned in the book. You started very interestingly. It's about the Olympic Games of 2012 set in London, but you do this thing in the prologue that says many of the things you read about happened. You have to guess which ones are real and which are imagined. I like that. That was a nice.
Well, with
trick.
each book in the William Warwicks.
Yeah.
And William has gone from being a constable right the way through to will he become commissioner?
Yes.
I've always had an expert. If it was fraud, if it was murder, if it was royal appointments, whatever it was, money laundering, I've had an expert, probably a retired head of that department in the Metropolitan Police.
Yes.
So when I sat down, I flew over to see Sebastian Coe in Monaco, and I said, he was useless. I mean, he'd run the games, but what he was doing wasn't what the head of security was doing. So he said, Jeffrey, you've got to go and see the head of security, Commander Bob Broadhurst. He's the man who knows what went wrong. So I flew back, saw the commander, and usually these people give me a couple of lovely inside stories. He gave me 14.
Wow. And
2 of them. The games would have closed on the opening day. It was within 12 minutes of closing. That is in the book, and because you've read it, you'll be able to guess which one it was. Yeah. And you're quite right. He gave me 14 things. I added 7 of my own.
Yes.
So there are 21 things that happened at the Olympics. 14 did happen.
Yes.
7 didn't happen. You have to decide, and 2 of them could have closed the game.
Amazing. And this gentleman, Bob Broadhurst, clearly had a bag of stories, you say bag of tricks for a writer. He's
written his own book. The commander
has
written his own book, And I read it, of course, word for word, very carefully. I then sat down with him, and he's very firm. No, you can't quite say that, Geoffrey.
Yes.
So when the cyber attack comes up, he's very keen to say, I think I know who was responsible for trying to stop the games.
Yes.
But he won't say it out loud. But he knows the cyber attack took place.
Yes.
So there are things that happened. The reader will go, but I was watching it on television. You were very lucky to be watching it on television. You were nearly 4 hours in darkness without anybody knowing.
Yeah. I mean, even as you say that, at the weekend there were 4 airports around the world, including Heathrow, attacked by cyber attackers who are, you're pointing at a country far, far away.
Yes.
But you know what I'm talking about?
This very weekend.
This weekend, there were people, and this is so fascinating, like even I was at the airport yesterday, there were people writing down the tickets because the computers were like, how we've become so dependent. But cyber attacks, I was going, is anyone going to claim responsibility for this, or what? They're just this other type of warfare that you were talking about 2012. But on it goes.
I was discussing with an Australian interviewer yesterday the fact that Brisbane has got the next Olympics.
Yeah.
And I said, when I was a child and ran, the Olympics, everybody wanted to be the country. 15 countries applied for the Olympics.
Yeah.
They're down to 2 people applying now. Yeah. Why? Because of what you've just said. They can't be sure what will happen.
Yeah.
And indeed, in the opening chapter of Endgame, in the opening chapter, you get the position, which could have happened to Britain. Seb Coe had made this brilliant speech. We won by 4 votes. And 2 days later, there was a bomb on the underground.
That's right.
And Seb has always said, if it had been 2 days earlier,
gone,
they would not have won them.
It was only when I was reading the book that it dawned on me how soon after that you guys won this,
they had to creep back to London Airport and go there separate. In theory, they were coming back in triumph.
Yes,
they'd beaten the French. In practice, people had been killed on the underground, and Seb had told the organisers, "We can get 25,000 people from Victoria to the stadium in 18 minutes."
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
If you'd been voting the next day, you might have said...
Yeah, it's fascinating. And even 2 weeks ago when the tube strikes were happening here, and I'd get the tube in and out to the station, the chaos that causes. And I was watching the massive humanity crossing the bridge, not just over here, London Bridge, just over here. Silence, almost post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Everyone with their head in their phones, trying to get onto a push bike, city bike, whatever you want, a line bike, and it just changes everything. Now that was a strike, it's different, but the chaos that can be wreaked by the things that you describe in the book.
Yeah.
And then these firefighters are playing whack-a-mole in the security services to go, bump, we got one, bump, another. It's intense. And this is what your book is about, though, isn't it? Is that whack-a-mole factor.
Well, he had to face... He said he could go a whole day without anything happening at all.
Yeah.
And then 2 things would come up in 8 minutes.
That's it.
And he had to make a decision. The one that was so funny was, well, it wasn't funny, was the toxic cloud heading towards the stadium, and he's getting orders over the phone, move the stadium, I want everybody out. Yeah. And he said, what, you want 60,000 people? Yes, they've got to be out of the stadium. And then suddenly the head of the fire service, which made me think about when you said it, rings up and said, okay, it's changed direction, it's going another way. And you see, the public never knew that. They're sitting watching Bolt win the 100. They're not realised there's a toxic cloud heading, tiny thing like that. While on the other phone, someone is saying, we've got a suspicious person in row 14, we can't see what he's holding, move in quickly. You don't know that. Yeah. But the Olympics is such a massive thing. And the London Olympics were a triumph.
Yes.
They were a triumph thanks to Seb Coe's leadership. But Bob Broadhouse was amazing. And he has stories to tell.
As do you. Geoffrey Archer, stay with us. Back in a moment. More to come. Geoffrey Archer still with us today. And you're still writing only in longhand. We don't need to get into this.
Yes, I rise at 6 o'clock in the morning, work from 6 to 8 every day. That gives me 350 days a year, 700 hours a year in longhand.
Tell me about pens. Do you care about the pens?
I use a felt tip pen.
Yeah.
I find biros are pathetic. Pens are too slow.
Yeah.
A felt tip pen made by a firm called Pilot. No, I am not paid to say that. I've been changing my pen continually for 40 years. They are the easiest. They move for me very quickly.
What colour pen, ink?
I like black.
What type of paper?
I have Oxford pads, which are 32 lines, so I know when I've done 32 lines, I've probably done 300 words, so 3 pages will be about 1,000 words. So in the first session, between 6 and 8, I like to do 6 pages, 2,000 words.
You've one of the few people, if not the only person in the literary world who gets to number 1 in 3 different categories, namely short stories, fiction, and non-fiction for the Prison Diaries.
Yes, I mean, do you know, I think about this in old age.
Yeah.
I've been very privileged and very lucky. I've just written a letter to my readers saying it's a very great honour to ask people to spend 8 hours in your company and do it again and again. And I'm very aware of that. I'm very privileged.
How do you reflect on the Prison Diaries now after all this time?
Well, I had a call from Geordie Gregg of The Independent saying he thought Prison Diary 1 was arguably as good as Cain and Abel in a totally different way. It was the best thing I'd ever done. And you'd be amazed how many people say to me, it's an experience that hasn't done you any harm.
Yeah, but how do you feel about that experience?
Well, it's 25 years ago.
No, but do you believe that when they say that to you?
Well, I realise how privileged I am, how the luck I am.
But were you enriched by being in prison?
Well, I tell you about a young man who sat on the end of the bed and said, I'll change places with you. I said, how old are you? He said, I'm 23. I said, I'm 60 plus. He said, I know, but you're not a drug addict.
Yeah.
He died 2 years later.
Oh, crikey.
You don't forget those things.
So it did something for or to you, obviously.
I'm sorry?
It did something for or to you.
Oh, yes. One wouldn't want to go through it, but I tried to make the best of it.
Yeah, it's extraordinary. I think one of the first books I ever read when I stopped being a child, as opposed to becoming an adult.
When did that happen?
It's about 2 years ago. Actually, you're not far wrong. It was about 2 years ago, if I'm being honest.
So what was this book?
It was A Quiver Full of Arrows. And then
you're a short story man.
I read everything, but at that time I was 13 or 14.
Yeah.
And short stories were perfect to transition into grown-up books.
Yes, quite right.
And I loved it because I had read all the tales that Unexpected from Roald Dahl, and then I was reading yours, and I was thinking they were like a taster menu for what's to come.
Well, I was brought up on H.H. Munro, Somerset Maugham, O. Henry,
Were you?
Scott
So all
Fitzgerald.
short stories.
Nobody wants them nowadays. You can't give short stories away. I have 3 of my 6 sets of short stories, Quiver Full of Arrows among them, have gone to number 1. Yeah. I couldn't get a set of short stories to number 1 now.
Well, what puzzles me about that is because people keep saying today, the TikTok generation, they want short.
Yes.
And Instagram, and we don't have concentration spans, and they want short. That puzzles me.
I agree with you. That's really a bit of a contrast in that sense, but I know I'm going to write another set of short stories, but my publishers have already told me they won't go to number 1.
Not really. That is extraordinary. Paul Robert Redford, you were a big fan of The Sting.
Well, The Sting is arguably, I think The Sting is the best comedy I have ever seen. The acting was brilliant because Paul Newman was brilliant as well. They were a wonderful double act.
For sure.
A Man for All Seasons, I put up there.
You did.
Those are the 2.
Paul Schofield,
a great contrast, those 2.
Yeah.
The best of English acting, the best of American acting. But I will tell you, the best of script writing.
As well.
Both scripts won the Oscar. It's the script that matters.
That's amazing. If you were to tell one I think this is lovely weather for Dickens. And I don't sound strange, but I think he's a real autumn-winter writer in my head. It's the right weather. What Dickens would you tell somebody who's never read Charles Dickens to go for and say, have a go at that and see how you get on?
A Tale of Two Cities.
Yeah.
Because it's the easiest story to read. Characters is why he's a genius.
Yes.
Characters plus an ability to tell a story is why he's among the greatest ever. But in Tale of Two Cities, it's such a simple story.
Yeah.
A story of a man who sacrifices his life to save his friend in the most beautiful way, and the historic background of the French Revolution added to it. I think my wife will go for Bleak House.
Yes.
Which she says is a masterpiece, and I'm wrong. And she is probably right. But I love A Tale of Two Cities.
Someday, recently I found myself in a karaoke bar in Hoxton.
What were you doing in a karaoke bar
in Dalton? Dalston. I was with my 26-year-old daughter and her friends, and they said, come on out and we'll do it. But anyway, you'll be glad because we share the same taste in quality music, and I did Frank Sinatra's That's Life.
Oh.
So next time, join us.
In my lifetime, I think he, and to be fair, Sammy Davis Jr.
All the Rat Pack
were the two great. No, the other two weren't in the same.
Like Dean Martin?
Peter Lawford and Dean Martin were good.
Yeah.
But they were not. I saw Sammy Davis Jr. He could stand up and say, throw a name at me, and he could perform, and he could dance so beautifully. Best tap dancer I've ever seen.
Mr. Bojangles.
Yeah, Mr. Bojangles is one of the... Because it's a good story.
Yes.
It's not just singing. No. It's a damn good tale.
And he emotes that story, as you know.
And Sinatra's attitude to Sammy Davis Jr. marks him out as a man who, long before he'd got prejudice under control and acknowledged Sam as his equal.
Yeah, different story. We'll talk again. I've got we have a books podcast. I know you're booked in to do that, so I'm looking forward.
This interview's coming to an end.
We have to.
I thought we were about halfway.
Oh, I wish we were. We've so much more to discuss. I'm glad to say we will do so again. Jeffrey Archer, congratulations on Endgame. It's released tomorrow. Everyone's going to want it. Of course they are. It's London. It's the Olympic Games. It's a thriller. It's Jeffrey Archer. What's not to love? Thanks for your time today.
Thank you very much.